Skirt.
Should we just sit in silence the whole way?
I mean, we might as well. That was dreadful.
Oh. Yeah, not great.
Not good. Not enjoyable, not fun. Just 2 hours of my life gone.
Hour 47.
Close enough. I round up. I have exactly one pro. And that's that Naomi Harris can get it. She didn't act very well in this, but she can get it. That's the only pro that I have. With honorable mention to the like one or two kind of funny jokes that I had, I will.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah. This movie didn't know what it wanted to be.
I think it knew what it wanted to be. It just was bad at doing that thing.
See, I don't think it did, because there was times where it took itself way too seriously, and then times where it was way too jokey. And it needs to be, this kind of movie has to be one or the other. It can't be both.
I don't know. I think you can do like big action and then have jokes thrown in there. It's just that neither one really landed.
Yeah, the action's fine. It took itself seriously though. Like it took itself like this was a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like there was like emotional moments that were like you can't do that. You either have to do it completely, or you can't do it at all and just make it completely batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what was annoying to me. Because like there's times where it'd be like sad, somber music, and then it'd be like, you know, like that. So that's what annoyed me the most.
I think it was really stupid.
I think this could at least been fun and enjoyable, as if they made it like fun, action-y, you know, that type of like a fun action movie. But it wasn't. There was a very limited amount of action, and it like I said, it took itself too seriously.
I think it was like written. I don't know if the screenplay was written by like a group of fourth graders or something, but it definitely felt like. Well, that's how it felt. It felt like the screenplay was written by a bunch of fourth graders. Yeah. Like it was like, okay, here's what we want to happen, right? We want to take down an airplane. We want The Rock to be fighting next to a gorilla. And we want a lady to get eaten by the gorilla. And we want this, and this. And then everything else is just like, how do we get there? Right. You know? And the whole plot was dumb. You know what movie I would have rather watched? The movie I would rather have watched was that homegirl in the very beginning who was trying to get out of that space station. Oh, yeah. And that rat was in there. Yeah. I'd way rather have watched that movie.
Yeah, that's another example. Like right there, it was like a horror type of vibe. Like again, very serious. Like you're not getting off the space station type of bleep. And then they come down to Earth. And Pete from The Office is there, and he's being a complete idiot. Oh my god! Eating Pop-Tarts. Like, are you kidding me?
He is terrible. She is terrible. Malin Ackerman, and I like Malin Ackerman. Yeah. But those two characters were awful.
Yeah, there wasn't a good character in this movie.
And the two of them so here's what annoys me about a movie like this, is that if you're gonna try to explain your movie with science, then do it in a way that's not very obviously completely stupid. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of threw around a bunch of buzzwords like genetic and sonar and like aggression. Like they just threw a bunch of like smart sounding words into sentences like a Mad Lib, and expected people to be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Right. Yeah, and those two were such cartoon villains. Like she's the ruthless one, and he's like the goon who's clearly stupid and doesn't know anything. And then you get Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who for 10 seconds is like the badass FBI agent, and then he becomes just, all of a sudden, he's just like, okay, we're cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I actually kind of didn't, I kind of liked his character after he turned to a good guy. I kind of dug him. I thought he was kind of cool. But in general, I just thought he was annoying.
Here's the thing about Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's always the same. That's Negan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is 1,000,000%. Even he said something along the lines of like, bleep your pants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he said a line where he's like, and we're here to clean it up or something like that. He literally says, like, that first part of that line, bleep pants or something like that. He says that in Walking Dead. Like, he's exactly that.
Yeah.
I like him as Negan, but I don't want to see Negan in every goddamn movie.
Yeah. I just realized that him and Malin Ackerman were both in Watchmen.
Okay.
Both were better in that.
Yeah.
There was a scene I laughed so hard at where you get it right after the plane had crashed, and you get Naomi Harris is talking to The Rock, and she's like getting up his ass about how he doesn't like people or whatever.
Yeah.
Which she was never around for the conversation where he said he doesn't like people.
Yeah.
So unless it's just on his Facebook profile, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But also, she's getting in his face, and he says something. He says something about the gorilla and how he hates people, and then he walks off.
Yeah.
And then that scene ends, and it cuts to 10 seconds right after that, where she finds him again in the corn.
Yeah, that
it's
was
like
weird.
They wanted to cut away from that to something else, and then back to them.
I noticed that too.
Making up, but they don't. They cut right back to the same scene. I laughed so. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
Yeah, there wasn't much that made sense about this movie.
Also, like, I get that you have The Rock in your movie and you want to use him. What the heck is The Rock gonna do against all those things?
You saw
He
what
didn't do anything. He was just like a fly. All he did was be annoying, and then the gorilla came in and did everything.
He threw some grenades in the alligator guild.
Yeah, but that didn't do anything. Also, stabbing that alligator through the eye like that wouldn't hit its brain, so it shouldn't have died like that.
That's what you're gonna choose to poke a hole in?
Okay, well, the gorilla got stabbed through the heart and survived.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. Every bit of dialogue in this was like, like, turn, something witty, cut away. Like, every piece of dialogue was that.
Yeah.
There wasn't any dialogue. It was just constant, like, 8-bit, you know, quippy things to say. Which, sure. I mean, I think this movie will find an audience with young kids. There were some young kids in our theater that I think were digging it.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. I mean, like, and not just for the fact that it's bad, but they say like 500 times.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of dick jokes.
Yeah, and it's like they're destroying an entire, like, there was about a 15-minute period where I was enjoying what was on the screen when George and Ralph who's the wolf, they were going through Chicago just throwing things, like throwing tanks and, you know, destroying everything. I was like, that looks like Rampage. That's kind of fun. But I sat there for the first half of the movie and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. Like, we're not doing anything. We're still getting to the action, right? It wasn't even it was like the first hour and 15 minutes.
It was, so you know what the plot of this movie was? The beginning part was the movie Life. Then it went to scenes from Jurassic World, where he's taming the raptors, or in this case, the gorilla. And then it became, well, there's kind of in the middle part where there's not much going on. But then the whole rest of the movie is Godzilla.
Yeah.
Where there's a couple of big monster things. They're all going to the same spot. They all get to the same spot, and then one of them decides that he needs to kill the other ones, and so he becomes on our side.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Godzilla, I guess.
Well, we're spoiling Rampage, so. And then, like, I know they were trying to do little Easter eggs for this, but, like, having a Rampage machine in the background, like
at a military base, wasn't it?
No. It was at the evil people's office.
Oh, it was in their office?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that I can get with.
But, like, even so, it's like,
still out of place.
And should Rampage exist in this world? Like,
I don't know why not.
Well,
I get it as an Easter egg, like, fine, but it still was a stupid and very forced one.
Yeah, because,
you know what I mean?
like, you think they would at least mention it, like, oh, it's happening like the video game, you know? Because, like, all the same animals are
Yeah.
infected with this stuff as a video game. Oops. But I think they just threw it in as an Easter egg, and they weren't thinking about how stupid that is.
Yeah.
Which,
For about 10 minutes at the beginning, when the space station goes up and then the stuff falls down to Earth and then the animals find it, I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of a cool creative way to kind of get into the theme of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine, I can get with this.
Yeah.
And then they just said, never mind.
yeah.
I don't know. There were parts in this that I kind of enjoyed, admittedly.
Yeah.
Some of the jokes were pretty funny. I hate myself for laughing at this joke at the end, but I did.
Yeah. But even, like, the jokes, they were going on for too long. He flipped them off like 8 times.
Yeah. And you knew.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a beat in here that surprised me.
Yeah. I was just hoping, I think the reason I'm just mostly disappointed by this is I was hoping for something just way, that didn't take itself seriously at all. And like, that's how the trailer was. Because, like,
they put all the jokes in the trailer.
and he goes, yeah, of course the wolf flies.
Yeah.
But then, like, they're crying because George is dying, and him and George are, like, have this close emotional relationship. It's like, I don't want that.
I think for me, it wasn't a problem that they tried to stick some emotional stuff in there. I was okay with that. They just did it very poorly, and that's what I didn't like.
I don't see in a world in which a movie about giant f***ing monsters can have any sort of emotional, serious tones.
Yeah.
It has to be completely stupid, which is what I thought it was going to be. And it wasn't. That was the only reason I wanted to go see this, because, like, it's going to be a crazy, stupid action movie that'll be fun. It wasn't any of those things.
No, it was stupid.
Well, yeah. Stupid it was stupid in a bad way.
Yeah.
And it had The Rock. And I was like, okay, The Rock, you know, I enjoy him. But even he didn't do anything different. He was just The Rock.
I honestly, I don't know if I ever want to see another Rock movie. I really don't.
I'm gonna give Skyscraper a chance.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, sure. But, like, we're complaining, but we knew, you know, we knew what we were gonna get.
Well,
we knew that this wasn't gonna be great.
I didn't think it would be a actual, like, good. I thought it would be fun, action, dumb, not take itself seriously, jokey, and it wasn't. And some of the jokes were kind of funny, but none of them fit in the movie.
It was just very weird. It was very hodgepodgey.
Yeah. It wasn't. I thought it'd at least be a good put together movie. You know.
Oh yeah, it at least could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it at least could have been more well shot and acted.
Like, right.
And written.
I didn't expect it to be the best movie of the summer or anything like that, but I thought it'd just be. I thought it'd be at least an enjoyable time. And
it was a slog.
Yeah, for an hour and 47 minutes.
It felt like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Shout out, by the way, to Joe Manganiello.
He died quick.
Who, shows up for only 5 minutes. And also, tell me the last time you saw him in a movie where he didn't have a scar on his face.
Yeah, that's weird.
I was trying to think of this during the movie. That's how bored I got. And Magic Mike 2.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah. That was the last time I remember seeing him without a scar on his face.
It's funny because, like, yeah, that was an hour. I think it's this almost like the exact same length of A Quiet Place, and that movie flew.
Yeah. Yeah, the part of my brain that enjoys things is very confused because we just went to A Quiet Place was the last movie we saw, and then we saw this, and my brain is like, what the hell's going on?
The shot I took before didn't even help.
It's weird because there's a world where I could enjoy this. There's a world where it's a very specific mood I would have had to be in. There's a world where I could have enjoyed this.
I don't think so.
But we don't live in that world.
I don't think there is, because it's not a movies like that where you enjoy it just because it's stupid fun. Are at least usually put together well, you know.
Yeah.
And this wasn't. It wasn't written well at all. Didn't know what it wanted to be. The performances sucked. It was bad. The CG wasn't even that great.
Yeah, there was some very obvious green screenery
So
at some points.
I don't think there's a world where it can be enjoyed as a fun movie.
There were some youngins that when they were walking out, were talking about, oh, like that was cool when The Rock did this. And like,
well,
fine,
that's
sure.
children.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like I think it will find an audience with those with kids and with some people, but we are not those people.
That's really not even who it's intended for.
Yeah.
The 8-year-olds who went, not intended for them.
So I just keep coming back. It felt like it was written by a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That I keep coming back to. So.
Want to write Rampage 2?
We could write it in an hour.